Lovely starshine lights my way to bed. Magic rainbows glisten in my head. Just like a child I live in Wonderland. All my dreams are coming true. Heavy shackles used to hold me down.
Hi, and welcome to Handmade by Dixie Tulip. I'm Mel, and thanks for stopping by my channel. I have dropped in today to record a quick video, actually because I was recording a video yesterday sharing a dress that I've recently made that I wanted to share with you all. But I had made some adjustments to a pattern to fix a gaping back. And I was trying to explain it in the video and it was just too difficult without actually showing you. So I have hopped on this morning and done another version of the pattern so that I can show you exactly how I did fix the gaping back based on my experiences on using the pattern last time. So you may or may not have seen that I made the Sew Over at London Betty dress. It was last summer, I think, something like that. So this is the dress, but I found that when I tried it on, the back, that's my favourite bit of this dress pattern, is the deep V back. But I just had it was gaping open at the back. It wasn't sitting close to my back, and it just didn't make it look great. So the way I had to fix it on this dress was to add some tiny little darts. I'll show you more close up when I show you how I adjust the pattern, but I've got two little darts there which just closes in that loose fabric at the back. But what I wanted to do was make that adjustment on the pattern piece itself so it fits perfectly without having to have the darts. So I've had to record the video in the sewing room, so the lighting isn't great, and I've done it as kind of a looking over the table, which I can never quite get right. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing wrong. You can always see the legs of the tripod, but I'm sure you won't mind that. So I'll walk you through how I adjusted this pattern piece by closing the back area. But what you really need to do is transfer that loose fabric to somewhere else on the pattern so that it still maintains its fit and its shape everywhere else, because it fitted perfectly everywhere else. So the way that you do it is you open up the dart and transfer that spare fabric into the dart. So as I say, I'll skip over to the next video and show you exactly how I did that. What I will caveat is I am by no stretch of the imagination a pattern drafter. It's one of the things that I'm learning myself all of the time. So I'm not an expert. This is just what worked for me. So do feel free to follow along. It has worked for me. The fit on the dress that I've just made is absolutely perfect. But if you do have any other hints and tips, if you are more experienced at pattern drafting, and there's any other techniques that you want to share, then feel free to add them in the comments or add any links to any blog posts that you've done or anything like that. So let me show you how I've done it. Okay, so I'm just going to show you how I adjusted the back bodice on the Betty dress. So just to show you previous dress that I made so you can see what the issue was. So on the back of the dress here, when I was wearing it, the back was gaping and there was too much fabric in the back. So what I had to do to fix that, that you can see there, is just added little darts to take out some of that loose fabric. But what I wanted to do this time is make the adjustments to the paper pattern so I get rid of that loose fabric there, and then I don't need to add a dart. So it's really simple to do. All you need is some scissors, a pencil, a ruler and some sellotape. And you'll need to have your pattern piece cut out and your dart marked on, because on the Betty it doesn't have the dart drawn on. You need to add that. So then what I will do first of all is measure how much I need to take out of this piece at the top. So with the ruler, I'm just going to measure this dart. So it is 2 centimetres in total, because remember a dart is folded over. So it's 1 centimetre on each side. So what I'm then going to do is mark on the top of the pattern piece the 2 centimetres that I'm going to close. So I'm just going to use the notch. There's a notch on the back there, and I'm just going to use that as my guide. So then mark 2 centimetres. What I then want to do is draw a line from that notch down to where the top of the dart is. So from the notch to the top of the dart. I've obviously got sellotape on this, so it's not that clear to see in all areas. So then what I'm going to do, because I'm going to close this gap here, but what you need to do is you need to transfer that fabric into somewhere else on the pattern. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer it into the dart, which will make the dart bigger, but then that 2 centimetres will end up getting closed up in this dart. So what you need to do first of all is just cut through the centre of the dart, through the centre line, and you want to stop at the point but just with a couple of millimetres to spare. Okay, so you can see I've cut the dart there. What I'm then going to do is cut along the line that I've drawn there, again going to the point of the dart but stopping before I reach it, so you want to leave a little pivot point. There you go, so you can see it's still attached just by that little pivot point. What I'm then going to do is close that gap by picking that up, moving it over to the 2 centimetre line, and then you can see what that has done is that's opened up that dart at the bottom. And just get a bit of tape and tape it in place. So that has now fixed the gape, but you can see what I've got now is the top of the bodice isn't smooth, so I'll need to redraw that curve, and also I will need to re-true the dart. So what you need is a spare bit of pattern paper, and for the dart just put the paper underneath. Check what you can see. And then tape it. And then you need to re-true the dart, which basically means that you are adding, you know, you'll see on patterns how darts, they're not straight along the bottom. They've got a curve like that, so that when you actually join the dart together, it keeps a straight waistline. So in order to true, I might do this the wrong way round first time, I can never quite remember. What you need to do is fold it along that first dart leg, so the dart leg that's marked, not where you've cut, because your new dart is now bigger, so you're still working with those lines where your dart originally was. So just fold it along the dart leg. Then what you're going to do is pinch that and bring it on top of the other dart leg. So I've pinched it, brought it to the other dart leg, and then with some kind of marking tool, I'm just using a tracing wheel. What you then want to do is trace over your line. Press on quite hard because you need to see it. And then you can see there's my new dart leg, so I'll just pencil them on so you can see. So that is the new dart, which has been trued. What I now need to do is fix this bit at the top. So again, I'm going to rip off a little scrap of paper so you can see. What I want to do is just recurve this area here. So I'm just going to put a bit of paper underneath. And just put a little bit of tape on. And then you can either do this by hand or you can use a French curve if you have one, but it's not much of a curve, so I'm just going to do it by hand. So I'm going along this line here, and then you just want to redraw so that it meets up with that line there. And then I would cut that out, and I'd cut that out. And that is it, that's my new pattern. Okay, so that's it, that's how I did it. It wasn't really very difficult at all. I hope that that will help you with any gaping backs that you may have on your patterns. Any questions at all, leave them in the comments below. But other than that, have a fabulous week, and I will see you very soon. Bye!
Just like a child, I live in Wonderland. All my dreams are coming true. Heavy shackles used to hold me down. Now my feet don't even reach the ground. Just like a prisoner when his sentence ends.